Hey everyone, Slambo here. Yes, I trimmed my beard. And I know it looks a lot different from what I've had in previous videos, but you can expect that to happen every once in a while. Next, I need to go get these cut off, get it knocked back down, get rid of this quarantine cut that I've got, and I've been going on for about a year now. Just got to get back into the salon and get that done. Just haven't had a chance to, and I'm sure it'll happen eventually. But anyway, yesterday I had a little adventure. I drove down about 90 minutes southwest of where I am down to Lancaster because my son is getting married in about a month and a half, and I needed to go to the suit store and get measured because the last time I got measured for a suit was 30 years ago when I got married. While I was down there, it only took like 15 minutes to get measured. I couldn't drive for that long and not stop somewhere. Luckily, I just got a deposit in, so I was able to make at least one stop on the way back. I stopped at a place called Crazy Frank's Flea Market. I pulled in, and there were a couple of vendors that had a decent selection of mostly country, some Elvis, and others along that same line. Not a whole lot of jazz, and I'm not too surprised for that. And also, not a whole lot of comedy records. Again, I'm not too surprised for that. But that's what I'm used to when I go out shopping. But I did find a few that I didn't have before, and there was one on there that was actually on my want list that I identified recently that I didn't have, and there it was sitting on the shelf right in the front. So it's like saying, "Come buy me because you want me." So yes, of course I did. So anyway, I'll show you what I got. So first one I've picked up, Andy Griffith, Just for Laughs. This one starts off with what it was football, where he goes to a camp meeting and runs into or gets caught up in a fan group going to a college football game, and it's someone who has never seen football before, and just kind of explaining it from that perspective. And it's one of the first comedy bits that I've heard Andy Griffith do on his own as a comedian. Get the glare off of there. There it is. But it's got other things on here that I'm looking forward to listening to as well. So it's next on side one, we've also got Silhouettes, Carmen, and No Time for Sergeants. Side two, Romeo and Juliet, Make Yourself Comfortable, Swan Lake, and Conversation with a Mule. So I'm looking forward to listening to that one. Then wandering around there, found another vendor with a few records, including a still sealed copy of the Amos Nandi radio show, and $2.98 is not what I paid for it. I paid closer to $5 for it, but this will be fun to listen to. I've got a couple of Amos and Andy recordings in my collection already, so this will be another fun one to listen to. Let's see, on the back here, does it say what they talk about? No, it does not. It lists other shows that are available from the Golden Age record label. It says up here in the corner. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing else on there, just GA5036, which is their part number. On the back, they list a few of the other original radio broadcasts that they have available. They've got You Bet Your Life, Lum and Abner. Let's see, what else would fit into my collection? Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. Let's see, and then there's others on here, including The Shadow, Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and The Great Gildersleeve. Those are fun to listen to. I've got a couple of Shadow episodes in my collection as well. Then, looking through a little bit further, I found a record with a very young Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner. This one is the 2,000 Years with Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks. features the track The 2,000-Year-Old Man. If you haven't heard that, look it up. It's one of the funnier ones that I've heard. We've also got on here Fabiola the Astronaut, and it's spelled N-A-U-G-H-T. Then we've got In a Coffee House. There are 4 subtracks on there. The Depressed One, The Actor, The Painter, The Folk Singer. Then there's also The Peruvian and The Psychiatrist. If you haven't heard anything with these two doing their banter, look them up. It's worth it. So that's another one that I'm really waiting to listen to. Then, of course, I can't go without getting at least one jazz record. So here's Benny Goodman, Swing into Spring. This one, let's see, does it have the track listing on the back? No, it does not. But this is another one that I didn't yet have in my collection. I probably have the recordings in my collection. There's the back side of it. And down at the bottom here, Buy the Best by Texaco. And they were the sponsor of the radio program. Oh, there's the track listing right there on the front. At the bottom, of course. I should have realized that. So we've got The Earl, I'll Never Say Never Again, Again, Undecided, Just You, Just Me, Perfidia, Rachel's Dream, What a Little Moonlight Can Do, Slip Disc, La Rosita, Take It, and Swing into Spring. So I've got a few Benny Goodman recordings, most of them on CD. It's nice to have them on vinyl, finally. Then I found the one that was on my want list. Laugh-In. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. This is another show that I watched in reruns growing up. And this is one of those fun ones that has a die-cut cover, die-cut gatefold. So the cover is very similar to something that they did in the show, where they'd have little doors and they'd open up and you'd see the faces behind them. So they kind of replicated that here in the record. On this one, we've got let's see, we've got Henry Gibson as the parson, Goldie Hawn, Ruth Buzzy as Gladys, Jane Worley, Judy Carney, Artie Johnson, Larry Hovis, and Gary Owens. And there's a closer look at all those portraits in there. So these are the performers in character during the show. And Ruth Buzzy, that's let's see, there she is. That's one of my favorite characters there. And then Gary Owens down here doing the announcing. Anyone who's grown up in LA in the 60s and 70s knows Gary Owens. He was a very popular announcer. And, he shows up on a lot of things. Let's get this cover back on here. There it goes. So, knocked one off my want list. So that was fun. Then, this one connects back to a video I put up last week, I think. Women in Comedy. This is another person that I had heard of before, but didn't have any records, Belle Barth. And I finally did get to listen to, oh shoot, I'm blanking on the name now. There was another woman singer that I showed last week, Sophie Tucker, that was the name. One of her records, another one of her records was right next to this one. But I picked this one because I didn't have anything by Belle Barth. I did get to listen to that Sophie Tucker record, and it's definitely adult humor. And this one is titled "If I Embarrass You, Tell Your Friends." And at the bottom here it says "For Adults Only." So yeah, this is another one that's going to be fun. It says "Censored, not for airplay." So I'm wondering how much censoring they've done on this. It's from After Hour Recordings. Let's see. So the back is just a whole bunch of text. Starts off, Belle Barth warns audience at her Belle Barth pub in Miami Beach, "Here you won't hear the Gettysburg Address." Well, I would be surprised if we heard the Gettysburg Address. So I've heard this name before. Now I get to actually listen to some of her work. And finally, the last one that I'm going to show today from yesterday's outing is another one that this goes along with one that I've seen shown on another channel, Bill Cosby's singing debut, Silver Throat, which I also have in my collection. This one is Bill Cosby, Hooray for the Salvation Army Band. So it's another one where he's just singing, but this is cover songs, and it starts off with track 1, side 1, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So I had to get it for that one just to hear how crazily he will do it. But knowing that what he's done on Silver Throat, it's probably a pretty straightforward recording. So we'll see. It's one of those we'll see. But for only a couple bucks, yeah, why not? And it gets me to the completionist on the Bill Cosby records that I've got. So then after I got home, I was looking around my shelves here and found some more cassettes that I hadn't cataloged yet. So I'll show those off real quick. Found Bob Newhart, the best of Bob Newhart. This is one that I think I've got the record of as well. Then we've got, always got to have some Weird Al. The insert is missing for this one, but this is the Weird Al song, or album Weird Al Yankovic, his self-titled album. It's got Ricky, Got a Boogie, I Love Rocky Road, Buckingham Blues, Happy Birthday, Stop Dragging My Car Around, My Bologna, The Check's in the Mail, Another One Rides the Bus, I'll Be Mellow When I'm Dead, Such a Groovy Guy, and Mr. Frump in the Iron Lung. Then also on that same shelf, we found 2 copies of the Fire Sign Theater. This is Don't Crush That Dwarf, Hand Me the Pliers. Another one that I think I've got on record. I have to go back and look again. Fire Sign Theater is one of those groups that I'd like to do an artist spotlight on at some point. This one I know I have on record. Dr. Demento presents the greatest novelty records of all time, the 1940s. This one starts off with the OK Laughing record, which is actually public domain because it was recorded so long ago. You can find a high-quality digital recording of it on archive.com, or .org, I mean, not .com. Hooray for Captain Spaulding, that's Groucho Marx singing that. Inka Dinka Doo is, he was known for his big nose. Jimmy Durante. Minnie the Moocher, of course, is Cab Calloway. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man, Three Little Fishies, there's Kay Kaiser again. I Like Bananas Because They Have No Bones, and then Cocktails for Two, that's Spike Jones doing that. The Too Fat Polka, I'm My Own Grandpa, Smoke, Smoke, Smoke That Cigarette, Shaving Cream, the original. You know, Dr. Demento was known for actually singing Shaving Cream on his show. The Freckle Song, and it ends with Pico and Sepulveda, which was always played on the first Sunday of every month on Dr. Demento show. So it always became Pico and Sepulveda week on the first Sunday of every month. But then also on that same shelf of cassettes, we have Talking Head 77. This is one that I would love to get on record. I'm very certain that I don't have this on any other format other than cassette right now. I have a couple of Talking Head CDs, but that one I need to get another copy on another format. And finally, The Frantics, Boot to the Head. This is another one where this is the only format that I've got this album on, and I'd love to get a record or CD of this one. This one has, let's see, I Shot Bambi's Mother, Game Show, Bill from Bala, that's a fun one. Boot to the Head, of course, the title track. You People Are Fat, Make Up Dirty Words, so that's an interesting one. You Scare the Bleep Out of Me, and it ends with Taekwon Leap and Boot to the Head. So that's what I've got to show today. Some really fun pickups from the flea market, and some tapes that I found on the shelf around the house. Got to look around some more, see what else I can find in my collection. Also working on getting my main listening area fully set up. I just got the records up onto some new record shelves yesterday. Got one of the CD racks between them underneath the window there in my main listening room. You'll get to see them eventually. I still need to clean up a little bit more and find a spot for. I've got another tub full of CDs I just need to put up on the wall somehow. Get some new shelves and better organize that room. Once that's all done, I've got plans to actually make a video showing that from all of the collection that I've got so far, all the way through to the stereo system and what I use to listen to all the recordings. So that's coming up in a future episode. But just wanted to show you what I got yesterday and what I found yesterday. So that's what I got today. See you next time.